Am I the asshole for not shaving my head in solidarity? I, 18F, cut my hair into a pixie cut about 3 years ago, to donate it. My hair was to my waist before. And I spent the last year growing it out. I finally managed to get it to about shoulder length, after a lot of awkward phases, frustration, and patience. Well, a classmate of mine was just diagnosed with cancer. She's a nice person, and I honestly feel for her, but we're not friends. I barely know her since most classes have been online. However, some of her friends have shaved their heads to show support, and are pushing the rest of the class to shave their hair as well. When they asked me, I explained that I've been growing out my hair for so long, and don't want to do all that again so soon. But that if our classmate needed any help, if she missed any classes or homework, that she could call, FaceTime me, and I'd help. Her friends didn't take that well, and are now calling me selfish and mean. Even though most of the class didn't, 3 of her friends and 2 guys did, no one else. But they argue that I'm different and should do it too, to show support, and because, you already know what you look like with short hair. The other girls don't, so it's easier for you. The classmate with cancer told them it's fine if I don't want to, and they didn't really have to do it either, but they're not letting it go. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Former cancer, chemo patient here. I honestly never understood the shaving of the head in solidarity. It was much more meaningful to me when people brought me food, sent cards, looked out for my family, drove me places when I couldn't drive, gave me a hug when I started to lose my hair. I think your suggestion to help your classmate keep up with school work is a better idea. Not the asshole. These people are wildly misguided. You know what really doesn't help someone with cancer? Taking attention away from them and bullying into others to do things. Support someone with cancer by treating them normally as they are able. Providing assistance. Money. Talking. Not the asshole. That classmate has savior complex. Shaving your head is not the only way you can show solidarity. How are you going to step over someone's bodily autonomy in the name of helping someone? Don't feel ashamed. Whether you shave your head or not, the circumstances will not change. And if she keeps pressuring you, you can say, if everyone in the class shaves their head, I'll think about it as well. Not the asshole. Honestly, half the time when I see teenagers shaving their heads, in support of a friend, I interpret it as, I don't want my bald friend getting all the attention just because she has cancer, so I will be bald too, rather than as a selfless act. But I'm jaded, so you don't have to listen to me. In any case, supporting their friend doesn't give them the right to be mean girls. Offering to help her with her schoolwork is more than enough. Not the asshole. Don't feel pressured to change your look further, anyone. You're offering to actually help her out with things as opposed to engaging in some lame-assed virtue signaling so everyone is able to publicly acknowledge how caring and good you are, like these girls are doing. Continue your plan to give your friend the thing she needs to help her get through this, instead a pointless gesture to make yourself look cool without actually helping her. Her friends didn't take that well, and are now calling me selfish and mean. Hey, does your friend want you to go around bothering people about this? Or are you just feeling self-righteous? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Body autonomy is a thing. Not the asshole. My niece is a cancer survivor and she never got why people would shave their head in solidarity. Am I the asshole for my part in having a difficult roommate removed from campus? This semester I got a new roommate, Claire, 19. Claire just moved to Los Angeles from out of state. Claire is very naive how Los Angeles works. Thinks she'll be a famous soon. She also won't clean up after herself. She makes everything into an argument. You have arms. You can pick things up if you don't like it there. She keeps saying things like, when I'm famous, you will regret talking to me like that. I'm so glad that I won't have to worry about people like you in a few years. I'm on school on a scholarship, local, and a black female. The race is about to come into it. Our other roommate is Mia. Latina. I've been learning Spanish off and on my whole life, so I'm having Mia help me. One night I messed up a word, and it ended up meaning something completely different that's 100% NSFW. Mia and I erupt in giggles as she's trying to correct me. Then we started saying stupid, inappropriate things like trying to come up with puns. Claire comes in and yells at that, we need to stop talking about her. I replied that, we are making stupid jokes. If anything, I'm making fun of myself and my awful Spanish. Claire said, why would I want to learn Spanish anyway? It's America. I say the city is called Los Angeles, and there's a large Spanish-speaking population. I want to communicate with all of my coworkers. Many places hire bilinguals. Claire goes on a tirade about we make her feel like an outsider in her own dorm and own country. Next, Claire goes maybe Mia should go back to where she came from. She can speak Spanish all she wants. Mia loses her shit and tells Claire she was born in the valley. Maybe it's time Claire goes back to where she is from, and that's not Los Angeles. Claire starts crying, and Mia leaves the campus. Mia files a complaint against Claire for being racially insensitive. I was asked to make a statement to our university backing up that Claire's microaggressive towards us. When Claire came back from her vacation, she was told she was being suspended from campus, and her living arrangements were revoked. Mia and I had to leave the area while Claire packed with campus security. Now Claire is blowing up her Instagram feed telling everyone she was targeted for being white. Her friends are saying awful things about Mia, myself, and Los Angeles in general. Claire is making it look like it was race baiting against her by her POC roommates. Not the asshole. Some folks seem to forget that freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. Edit. Holy sweet baby Batman y'all, thanks bunches for the awards. Not the asshole. Telling someone they should go back to where they came from isn't a microaggression, it's just aggression. If someone feels that they can be baited into saying that, then what she's basically saying is she felt that she was baited into showing her racism. And show her racism she did. All the other inconveniences beforehand don't really come into it. She just sounded like an bad roommate. A racist using the racism card for being booted off campus? What a surprise. Not the asshole. Claire did this to herself. NTA. Claire has nobody to blame but herself. Her behavior was reprehensible and she deserved to be suspended for it. Not the asshole who cares what her friends think. Block them. You did the right thing, and she responded in a very predictable manner based on her history. Try not to be concerned about what other people say or think about you, unless it becomes greater, such as slander or libel. There's an old saying somewhat along the lines of, "It's none if my business what you think of me." That can go a long way in letting go of this mental anguish. And as always, take the high road. People who matter to you know the real story, others do not matter. Not the asshole. Claire is racist, whether she cares to realize, admit it or not, and an idiot. Also, Los Angeles is literally a Spanish name. The sheer audacity of shit like this gets me every time. Not the asshole. Go back to your own country, racist. Why learn Spanish? It's America, racist. I'd recommend Claire gets a little more educated before she becomes famous. Fans hate that shit. Not the asshole. Screen cap her IGBS. Just in case. Am I the asshole for not defending my wife at the dinner table? My wife, 27 female, and me, 36 male, were having Thanksgiving dinner at my parents' house last Thursday. My wife has this weird habit of eating with a teaspoon all the time, instead of a regular spoon, so when she and my mom were setting the table, she took a teaspoon for herself. Anyways, when she was eating with it, my dad pointed it out to her and asked, "Why on earth are you eating with that tiny spoon? You know eating in tiny mouths isn't gonna help you lose those extra pounds you have." I saw it as a harmless joke at the time and laughed along with it. So did my wife at the time, but when we were going back home she seemed annoyed with me, and at first I didn't get why until she told me it was because I let my dad joke about her weight and didn't defend her. She has had some trouble with her weight lately, but I didn't think she'd get so angry over the joke. At the time she seemed chill about the joke and it really seemed harmless. If someone joked about me that way I wouldn't take it to heart. Personally, I don't think her reaction was reasonable, and I don't get why she's still annoyed at me for it. Edit. Yeah, I get it, I'm the asshole. But how's it reasonable for my wife to still be mad at me 6 days later when I've apologized multiple times and I wasn't even the one who made the joke? You are the asshole. You and your dad. Insulting someone while laughing isn't a joke, it's just an insult. Edit. Thank you for the award, kind person. Edit number 2. Thank you for the awards, kind people. You are the asshole. Do not laugh at a joke that insults your wife. Especially if you know it is a sensitive topic for her. You messed up big time. You are the asshole. Flip it around. If your mill joked about your tiny penis or lack of achievement or whatever else, and your wife did not stand up for you, then how would you feel? That was not a harmless joke. That was a passive-aggressive dig. You are the asshole. Your dad insulted your wife and you laughed. This only encourages your family to make these snide comments. Response to your edit. It's reasonable for her to still be mad because, based on how you wrote this, you're not sorry and your apologies mean nothing. You are the asshole. You are the asshole. She seemed chill at the time because she was in shock and uncomfortable with confronting your dad over his comment and over your silence on the matter. A joke is something that is considered to be funny by all parties and, as she never actually thought it was funny, means it wasn't a joke. Wait, so you sat there at the dinner table and laughed along as your dad called your wife fat? What the hell is wrong with you? You are the asshole. You are the asshole. Your father called her fat in front of everyone and you laughed. Am I the asshole for demanding that my mother display photos of my wife in her house? I got married 2 years ago to the love of my life. I feel like my mom doesn't really like her, but the relationship is mostly okay. Honestly, I have a feeling since I got married I've been left out of a lot of stuff, but the only one I can prove is my mom's birthday trip. To be clear, no one is straight up rude, but it is clear my mom and wife don't vibe and the rest of the family seems meh about her, which does make me sad. My mom has a wall with a lot of pictures on it. There are plenty of pictures of my sister's partner and there are pictures of extended family, but not a single one of my wife. My mom has pictures of her, because some of these were taken at events we were at, but she just chooses the ones without my wife. Honestly, this is not something I would have picked up on, but my wife did and it bothered her. My wife's family is huge on family, and while I don't think my mill loves me, she definitely includes me in everything. I brought it up to my mom and she said she hadn't noticed. I said I didn't really believe her and she shrugged and said my wife isn't her daughter. I pointed out that my sister's partner isn't her son or my aunt's husband isn't her brother, but she has pictures of them. My mom said it was her house and the whole conversation is dumb. I said she can't exclude the love of my life, and my mom said this is a really pathetic thing to care about and we are being weird. My wife was upset and feels like it was a clear statement, so I told my mom she could either put up some pictures of my wife, or we wouldn't be coming over. My mom said okay, don't come over. That was probably 4 or 5 months ago. I checked up about Christmas and asked if she had put up even one picture. My mom said no, she wasn't going to, we can't make her, and just don't come to Christmas and see if she cares. Well, we won't be going to Christmas, but my sister is super pissed at me and thinks I'm an entitled asshole and I heard my stepdad was making fun of us. I don't feel too bad because everything I've read online talks about you have to be a united front. Not the asshole. Your mom doesn't like your wife, unfortunately. However, your mother does have a point, you can't make her put up any photos. Maybe go low, no contact with your mom, talk it over with your wife and see how she feels. It's nice to see a husband with a backbone on this site. Also, you might need to look into RJUSTNOMIL. It's your mom's place, she can display whatever. Your mom sucks because it's blatantly obvious what she is doing. Edit. Your wife is not the asshole. Your mom sucks because I believe in your gut feelings. If she has something to say about your wife, she should just tell you. But you kinda suck too because, even if you stood up for your spouse, you made it about telling her how she should be decorating her own house, and she's right to stand her ground on this point. My advice would be to call her again, not about decorating but about the true issue. Why she seems to exclude your wife. This is one of those everyone sucks here and also no assholes here as well. For the everyone sucks here, your mom should have pictures of your wife up in her house, but you shouldn't demand that your mom put up pictures of your wife either. For the no assholes here, I don't blame you for sticking by your wife, and honestly, it's your mom's house. If she doesn't like your wife and doesn't want pictures of her up in her house, she's entitled to have that opinion and decorate her house with only people she cares about. You are the asshole. Unpopular opinion, it appears. But you can't make anyone like someone else, and you can't tell someone how to decorate their home. Not the asshole. They don't like your wife and they don't much care about you, either. You are the asshole. So you think that even though your mom doesn't like your wife, she should put a picture of her up on the wall where she has to look at it all the time? I'm sorry, but that's asking too much. So long as your mom is polite to your wife and doesn't try exclude her from family events, then that's all you are really entitled to demand from her, in my opinion. You are the asshole. Your mother can decorate her home however she pleases. You can't coerce people with ultimatums to get your way. Your mother was pretty clear when her response to the threat was, okay, don't come over, so why did you think she'd change her mind?